meta theory about the Matrix movie is the notion that its creators did not make a science fiction film, but instead a piece of visual art that symbolically narrates our real life. We've received many comments asking our opinion about the reality of the Matrix. What if it's not a movie, but a documentary? Well, there is a comic that explores that very same question. So let's read it. Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
The theory about the super reality of the Matrix proposes that the film is an allegory of our day-to-day lives. We can identify multiple metaphors, such as Plato or the governmental control over people. But for the believers of this Matrix theory, they think that our reality is false and that someone or something similar to the machines are controlling us. The Matrix comic book titled Get It is a strange one within the collection. This comic tells the story of a man who saw the movie The Matrix but did not understand it. 3 friends left the cinema. 2 of them talk about how incredible the movie was, and one of them just cannot understand it. His lack of comprehension baffles his friends. They don't understand how he doesn't understand. Understand? Anyways, they converse as to why The Matrix is so incomprehensible for this man. Like, was Keanu Reeves dreaming at the beginning of the movie? Or was the rest of it a dream? And how were they able to squeeze their bodies through the phone lines? Oh brother, where do I begin? His 2 friends answered individually. You mean you were sitting there scratching your head through the whole thing? The man answers back, well, yeah. His friends try to explain to him that the beginning of the film was a dream, to which the young man replies, but people got killed in that part, so how could it be a dream? That's a valid question, and is one of the points that theorists of the Matrix within the Matrix hypothesis uses to explain that everything could be a simulation, including the real world. The man's questions begin to frustrate his friends, so they try to summarize what the film was about. It's not so much as a dream as it is a state of manufactured reality, see? Manufactured by whom? By artificial intelligence. You know, the machines. But what machines? I didn't see any machines. The friends continue to explain. That's because the entire planet had been taken over by them. It's like the whole world had become one giant machine, see? I suppose. But then who were those android dudes? I thought they were the bad guys, but I still don't get how they traveled through the phone lines. Oy vey. I give up. This comic book seems to be comical, as it is a satire of our friends or relatives who just can't understand the story of a movie, and we just give up on trying to explain it to them. But just wait. The confused man calls it a night. I had a good time, though even if the flick did go over my head. And thanks for the beer, you guys. Don't mention it. And don't worry about the movie. I'm sure a lot of people didn't get it. And here's the twist. As the man turns to leave the pub, everyone seems to be acting a little suspicious, including his friends. And it's a good thing that they don't. Right, Agent Lewis? Correct, Agent Davis. The fewer humanoids who comprehend what's really going on, the fewer we must destroy. This comic takes place inside the Matrix, where a film titled The Matrix is being shown in theaters. Now, there are 2 ways to interpret this comic. One is that the Red Pills could be trying to awaken the humans inside the simulation to the truth by using fictional media and entertainment. Making a movie titled The Matrix about a world inside a simulation could lead many people to ponder and question their reality, making it easier to wake them up. The other is that this breaking of the 4th wall could be referring to our reality, stating that if we were to fully understand the Matrix, the agents will come after us. The comical vibe of this comic quickly turns cold. That's because many of us who saw the film wondered if it could have any standing in reality. After The Matrix premiered, many people did begin to question reality and the possibility that we could be living in a simulation, being manipulated by beings superior to ourselves. Also in the film, we can see several similarities with the allegory of the cave by Plato. This allegory asks to imagine that several men are tied in a cave since birth. They cannot even move their heads. They can only see the wall directly in front of them. from which they can see shadows of animal statues and other objects that are passing in front of the light of a big bonfire that's behind them, like a movie projector. These men will think that those shadows are from real creatures, because they cannot look at what's behind them. If one of the men is released, he will not only discover that what was making those shadows is not real, but by escaping the cave, he will see that the light that was shining was not a bonfire, but from the sun. The sunlight will hurt him and produce blindness, because he had never seen the sun before. He will eventually adapt, and would realize that he has been deceived his entire life. He may return to the cave to tell the other men how the real world looks like, but they will just say that he is crazy, because their vision of reality is limited to the shadows on the wall. Just like in the movie after Neo awakens from the Matrix and asks, "Why does my eyes hurt?" This is a clear reference to the myth of Plato's cave. Neo has been imprisoned all his life in a reality imposed in front of his eyes, like the men in the cave. He finally realized that it was all a hoax. The allegory of Plato is usually used to explain how some people limit the reasonings of reality based on what they can only see in front of them, and label those who do not share their vision of reality as crazy. The simulated world is a theory that has been continuously studied by scientists, even to this day. And although the Matrix is over 20 years old, this theory has been documented as a possible explanation for reality and its many mysteries. Visionaries such as Elon Musk have affirmed multiple times that we live in the Matrix.
You and I are just looking at each other through our eyes. I see you, you see me. I hope.
You think so?
I think you probably have regular eyes.
This could be some simulation.
It could. Do you entertain that?
If you assume any rate of improvement at all, then games will be indistinguishable from reality.
This comic is a bait and switch. The art style and dialogue are humorous. However, the payoff is dark and interesting. The thought that if we were to ever truly understand what reality or the Matrix film is, could lead to our destruction. But do you agree? Are the creators of the Matrix visionaries, not only in the film industry, but also in the hypothesis of our reality? Is the Matrix science fiction or something more? For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.